This vid's really for you, Amelia, since we think you may have oink barf. As you can see, I just got out of the shower. This is a little unplanned. But I'm going to tell you about what you're missing. So, today in the lab, in physics, I was waiting for Dr. Hale to tell me what I should be doing, because I'm the kind of person who doesn't know what to do in a lab. And I saw this hose-like thing, and it had two nozzles, and I'm like, oh, that's such a cool device. It's really awesome. You know, there's this cute little lever. Oh my goodness, that lever. So adorable. Hey, I wonder what would happen if I were to push the lever. Ching! Psh! And then suddenly, the hose is spraying everyone around me with high pressure water. And I'm like, oh my god. And I don't think, maybe I should put the hose into the sink that's right next to me. I think, oh my god, a hose! Ah, lever, turn off, turn off, turn off. And so I'm spraying everyone around me, wrestling with the hose as if I have a water snake in my hand. Finally, a minute later, I say, oh, sink. Sink it in. Just as I'm sticking it in, and I'm so sure I'm clear, Dr. Hale appears right behind me, and he does this. Looks at the hose, looks at me. Looks at the hose, looks at me. Then turns to me and says, in his Mexican accent, which I totally cannot do, thank you, Alexi. Why don't you return to your seat? So polite, I know. So I can't move. I'm just standing there, still holding the hose, which is now pouring into the sink, which I think he's somehow managed to turn off. And my hair is in front of my face, and I'm not moving, but I'm shaking a little. And everyone thinks I'm crying, which is very sweet of them, but I'm actually laughing hysterically. And I'm trying so hard to put on a face of remorse so that, I can actually look like I'm sorry for the terrible flood I've caused in the lab. But I can't stop laughing. So I say, I am so sorry, between giggles, and he says, no, it's good. And here's the best part. He says, at least you made sure that it still works. I mean, who knows? Bacteria could have gathered in the nozzles. And then he explains to the class, it's good that Alexi accidentally watered down all of our backpacks, because she just exercise the nozzle, which is used when someone who's doing a chemistry lab gets a chemical in their eye and they have to get the chemical out by spraying water into their eyes. So yes, I was a real help in testing to see whether that device still worked. The other amusing incident that happened today happened in history, and what happened was our assignment was to illustrate the relationship between law and morality. So Fady drew a drawing in his book, but was too bashful to illustrate it on the chalkboard. So Jasmine went up and illustrated it. And when we were looking at it and interpreting the drawings, Dr. Macy came to theirs and said, now this is an interesting one. This was authored by Fady, but written by Jasmine. Then gave them a meaningful look. And he said, here, let's view it. I reproduced it for your benefit. Yes. Law and morality. And so he said, now look here. The relationship is obviously a friendly one, and it appears that law has certain feelings for morality. Now, why don't we relabel this for a moment, he said, and wrote in with a piece of chalk. Fady and Jasmine. And then he gave them another meaningful look like, And they're just like, we're not holding hands. We're not together. What? There's like, here's their desk before this, and here's their desk compared to them after. Sinking, sinking, sinking. And that's all you really need to know. I wish you well, Mafia, though you may wish me ill.